Take a moment and truly picture it. In your hand, or perhaps sitting in your bank account, is $2,000. It's not a fortune, but it's not nothing. It might be the result of months of careful saving, a small inheritance, or a bonus you worked tirelessly to earn. It represents sacrifice and potential. Now, look at that sum and ask yourself a question that might seem absurd. Could this humble $2,000 be the seed from which $1 million fortune could grow? Could you transform it into a life-changing empire? The moment you voice this ambition, you'll likely be met with a chorus of doubt. The pragmatists will shake their heads. The cynics will scoff. They'll tell you the world doesn't work that way, that such leaps are for the lucky few, those born into privilege. Impossible, they'll say. A fantasy. Their laughter isn't always malicious. Often it's a reflection of their own fears and limitations, a wall they've built around their own ambitions. They see an unbridgeable chasm between 2,000 and 1 million. But here is a truth that history has proven time and time again. The landscape of success is filled with the stories of giants who began as ordinary people. They didn't start with silver spoons. They started in dusty garages and cramped apartments. They started with an idea on a napkin, a skill honed over thousands of hours, or a burning desire to solve a problem. Their initial capital was often less than our hypothetical $2,000. Their true wealth was not in their pockets, but in their spirit. This brings us to the crucial question. If it's not about the starting amount, then what is it about? The difference lies in two fundamental things: strategy and mindset. What was the blueprint they followed to turn small wins into monumental gains? What mental fortitude did they possess to handle failure, rejection, and the crushing weight of doubt? How did they cultivate the patience to let their investments grow and the courage to take calculated risks? These are not just questions for them, they are questions for you. How can you adopt their framework and apply their principles to your own journey? Stay with me, because over the next few minutes, we are going to dismantle the myth that wealth is unattainable. We will lay out not just a series of steps, but a complete philosophy. This is the blueprint. A roadmap that, when followed with unwavering discipline and a deep understanding of its principles, can guide you on the path from where you are now to where you want to be. This journey will demand more than just your money. It will demand your focus, your resilience, and your commitment. But if you are ready to learn, to adapt, and to execute, then the goal of becoming a millionaire is not just a distant dream. It is a destination you can start walking towards today. Before you can hold $1 million in your hand, you must first hold the idea of it in your mind. The journey to wealth doesn't begin in a bank or with a lucky break. It begins with a quiet, internal decision. The very first step, the foundation upon which all fortunes are built, is mindset. It is the invisible architecture of your financial destiny. Becoming a millionaire is not just about accumulating money. It's about a profound transformation in how you think. The world is divided not between the rich and the poor, but between those who see money as a tool to be used and those who see it as a consumable to be spent. You must learn to see opportunities where others see problems, to see potential where others see limitations. This is the fundamental shift. So let's talk about your $2,000. To most, it's a paycheck, a brief moment of relief, a few nice dinners, or a new gadget. But to you, from this day forward, it is something else entirely. You must see this money not for what it is, but for what it can become. You must treat your $2,000 like a precious, living seed. This seed holds within it the blueprint for a mighty tree, a tree that can bear the fruit of financial freedom. But a seed left on the table will rot. It needs to be planted in the fertile soil of knowledge and discipline. Watered with patience and consistency, this single seed won't just grow into a tree. It will grow into a sapling, which will drop its own seeds, which will grow into more trees, until you are standing in the middle of your own private forest of wealth. How do we cultivate this soil? It begins with a principle that accounts for 80% of all wealth building: self-control. This is the silent battle fought every single day. It's the choice between the fleeting pleasure of today and the profound freedom of tomorrow. This means you must become the master of your impulses. That daily coffee, the subscription you don't use, the upgrade you don't need. Each one is a small leak in your financial ship. Alone they seem insignificant. Together they can sink you. You must plug these leaks, stop all unnecessary spending. This leads to a difficult but necessary truth. You must forget luxury for now. Society will scream at you to buy the new car, to wear the expensive watch. It will tell you that this is success. But this is a lie. It is a trap designed to keep you poor. True wealth is quiet. It's the security of knowing you are in control, not the loud announcement of an expensive purchase that owns you more than you own it. So look at that $2,000 again. It is not a toy. It is not for showing off. It is your first deposit into the bank of your future. It is your capital. More than that, it is your first soldier. You are the general of a tiny army, and this is your first warrior sent to the battlefield of the economy. A soldier cannot be sent on vacation. It cannot be wasted on frivolous things. It must be trained, equipped with knowledge, and sent into battle with a clear objective. Your mission, as its commander, is singular and absolute. You have one duty, one sacred responsibility to your future self. And your only mission is to multiply it. You have $2,000. It sits in your account, or perhaps on your table, a neat stack of bills. It's a significant amount, but in the grand scheme of building an empire, it can feel like a single drop of water in a vast ocean. So the question isn't just, what do I do? The real question is, where do I plant this seed so it can grow into a forest? Where do you actually start with $2,000? Let's explore 3 paths, 3 powerful strategies to turn this initial capital into the foundation of your future. Option 1. The path of the modern artisan, a digital skills and freelancing business. In today's world, the most valuable real estate isn't land. It's the space between your ears. Your mind, armed with the right skill, is a factory that can print money. Take $500 from your $2,000. This is not an expense. It is the single most important investment you will make. With this, you don't just buy a course, you buy a key to unlock skills that businesses are desperately crying out for. Think about it. Every brand needs a voice. That's copywriting. Every product needs a face. That's graphic design. Every story needs a storyteller. That's video editing. And now, every workflow needs optimization. That's the mastery of AI tools. These aren't just hobbies. They are high-income skills. Now what about the remaining $1,500? This is your fuel. This is your megaphone to the world. A skill without a client is like a beautiful song sung in an empty room. You will use this money strategically. You'll build a simple, elegant website showcasing your newfound talent. You'll run targeted ads on social media, not to everyone, but to the exact people who need what you offer. You'll invest in tools that help you find and manage clients. You will spend a portion of it simply to network, to buy a coffee for someone who can open a door for you. This isn't about just getting clients. It's about building a reputation, a brand of one. Remember, every giant corporation, every famous freelancer started with a single client. A small, skill-based business, born from a $500 investment and fueled by intelligent marketing, has the potential to not just grow, but to explode into something truly monumental. Option 2. The path of the digital merchant, e-commerce and reselling. Imagine a river. On one bank, an item is plentiful and costs very little. On the other bank, that same item is scarce and in high demand. The merchant is the one who builds a bridge, transports the item, and in doing so, creates value. This is the essence of reselling. Your $2,000 becomes your initial cargo. You don't need to invent a new product from scratch. The world is already full of them. Your job is to find the hidden gems. You will become a student of the market. You will use platforms like Amazon, eBay, or Shopify, not as a consumer, but as a commander, directing the flow of goods. You might find a unique kitchen gadget from a wholesaler and sell it to home cooks. You could source handcrafted leather goods from a local artisan and introduce them to a global audience. The entire $2,000 is your inventory capital. You buy for, let's say, $1,600. You allocate $400 for platform fees and initial marketing. Now let's talk numbers, because numbers tell a story. People get discouraged by small margins. They say, I only made 20% profit, but they are missing the magic. A 20% profit on your $1,600 is $320. You now have $1920 to reinvest. The next cycle, a 20% profit on that is $384. Your money is not sitting still. It is working for you day and night. It is moving, flowing, and with each cycle, the river of your revenue grows wider and deeper. This isn't just about flipping products. It's about building a system, a machine that turns your initial capital into a steady stream of income. Option 3. The path of the strategist. High leverage investing in yourself. The third path is perhaps the most profound and often the most overlooked. With this option, you don't buy a skill and you don't buy a product. You buy access. You buy wisdom. You spend the entire $2,000 on yourself. This might sound selfish, but it is the most strategic move of all. Imagine two people trying to find a hidden treasure in a dense jungle. One has a map, a compass, and a guide who has walked the path 100 times. The other has only a machete and blind determination. Who do you think will find the treasure first? The $2,000 buys you the map, the compass, and the guide. It gets you into the room with a mentor who can save you from making 5 years' worth of mistakes in your first 5 months. It pays for the ticket to a conference where you will meet one person, just one, whose connection can change the entire trajectory of your life. It enrolls you in a high-level mastermind or course where you are surrounded by people who are as driven and ambitious as you are. People often chase the allure of stocks or crypto, hoping for a 10x return. But they fail to realize that the knowledge gained from a single book can give you a 100x return. The advice from a mentor can provide a 1000x return over your lifetime. This isn't about passive learning. It's about actively acquiring the knowledge and the network that act as a lever. With a long enough lever, you can move the world. With the right knowledge and connections, you can build an empire from nothing. But let us be clear. Whichever path you choose, there is a universal truth you must embrace. This $2,000 is not a magic wand. It will not, under any circumstances, turn into $1 million overnight. If someone promises you that, they are a magician, and their greatest trick is making your money disappear. This is not the lottery. This is not a casino. You are not a gambler throwing dice and hoping for the best. You are a farmer. And this $2,000 is your first, most precious seed. A seed does not become a forest by magic. It requires fertile soil, that is your hard work and discipline. It requires water, that is your consistency, showing up every single day. It requires sunlight, that is your strategic thinking and your willingness to learn and adapt. You must protect this seed from pests, the distractions, the negativity, the doubters, and most of all, your own self-doubt. You must nurture it, care for it, and have the patience to watch it grow. Treat this money not as a windfall to be spent, but as a foundation to be built upon. It is the first stone in the castle you will one day build. Treat it with the respect it deserves. There is one secret formula every millionaire knows: compounding. If you can grow your $2,000 by even 50% per year, in about 10 years it could cross $1 million. Sounds impossible? Not at all. In business, whether freelancing, e-commerce, or digital products, 50% growth per year is realistic if you reinvest profits and scale smartly. This isn't about banks or slow investments. It's about you being the driver of growth. But every journey has traps, and the biggest trap is greed. Quick rich schemes, pump and dump crypto coins, showing off luxury too early, living on loans and credit. These destroy your foundation before it's even built. If you want to be a millionaire, discipline is your shield. Every extra dollar you make must be reinvested back into your business, not wasted on lifestyle. That's how real wealth compounds. Look at the greats. Steve Jobs started in a small garage. Jack Ma had no money in his first ventures. Warren Buffett bought his first stock at the age of 11 with just $100. Their secret? They didn't wait for millions to start. They took a small amount, treated it like gold, and multiplied it. If it was possible for them, it is possible for you. So, my friends, becoming a millionaire with $2,000 is possible. But the journey begins not with money, but with your discipline, your patience, and your mindset. This is a marathon, not a sprint. If this video gave you clarity, then press the like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Mind Motives, because your journey to wealth and success starts today.